the vast majority of people who utilize these cryptocurrencies are doing things to help people who do not have access to basic financial services, which happens to be 75% of the people on this planet do not have access to basic financial services. So in this country alone, 50% of the people in America, supposedly the wealthiest nation in the world, 50% do not have access to basic financial services. These types of networks enable a reallocation of wealth and re-access to wealth. Basically, anyone with a smartphone, a digital wallet, and access to a basic internet connection can then be sent money. So places like in Venezuela or
currency stability,
Argentina, that have tremendous flux in currency, where one day it's worth 3 times what it was the day before, and then the next day it's worth absolutely nothing. The use cases in those countries are much more apparent than here in the States, where we do have a pretty stable currency. And the concern tends to be more so around the malicious behavior and trying to pick apart this system versus the benefit that it has for people in places who do not have access to those basic financial services.
Which is also why there's very little volume in America in trading compared to everywhere else in the world.
Right.
It's not as much of a need here as it is in places that don't have access.
That's correct, and there are certainly many, many more people outside this country who find value in cryptocurrency than we simply do here.
Yeah. So like in the Philippines, for example, they have a lot of the families, like the parents, they go to another country, they work, and they have to send money back, right? And they usually go to like Western Union, it's like $30 to send them $20. It behooves them kind of just be able to like send them some Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, they've been a very big push. As a matter of fact, there's 7-Elevens now, it's kind of why I mentioned the thing before, where you can actually trade Bitcoin and pay for something. Now that's easy peasy. In Japan.
Yeah, in Japan actually, as of April 1st, there's some deregulation that happened. I'm not sure what specifically it was, but Bitcoin is now accepted in 260,000 retail stores in Japan. You can pay your utilities with cryptocurrency. So once you're inside that ecosystem, there's no need to exchange it back into fiat currency. And that's a big deal because Japan is a massive economy, and then once you start to have places like China, for example.
China's another one that they have their own kind of thing, but just being able to like transfer value without being in between.
Right, so you can see how certainly, yes, these blockchains can be used for malicious behavior, but there's also a tremendous good and social impact that it can have in terms of wealth exchange. Yeah.
Just real stupid. I don't know if anyone else has seen or noticed this, but literally in the past week or two, since the CEO of Fidelity seemed to have really kind of come out and said positive things about the blockchain space or about the Bitcoin space, in my opinion, the articles that I've been seeing are a lot more skewed towards this is real, this is here, this is now. So I don't know if everyone here, maybe there might be a few that realize that this is something that is coming, this baby is coming whether you like it or not, and we better get used to it in a grand way. And I think that's changed literally in the past 2 weeks since a CEO of a major corporation has come forward and said that she just wishes that there would be more people that kind of get this and are buy into it.
In addition to that, there's the Ethereum Alliance, was it?
Enterprise.
Yes, the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, which is a conglomeration of a bunch of big companies, including Microsoft and IBM, who are investing heavily in the exploration of these technologies. And once you have these big industry players saying, that's interesting, let's do something with that, the implications are broad.
Yeah, well, what caught my eye about 4 months ago was on the front page of The Economist magazine. Blockchain, it's here, nothing else, just that. So that's something.
So when you think about an enterprise, and you think about kind of like this example, and the second example, basically what you're doing is you're cutting out swaths of labor, right? All your accounting, all your, a lot of your, the paper pushing, even if it's done on a computer now, you're taking out swaths of labor. So the use of blockchain in an enterprise,
one could say creates efficiencies, I suppose.
And the speed market.
Yeah.
whether it's to that cash or whether it's transacting anything. And as we kind of refer to it, we're taking off the sides in terms of all those excess people or excess processes that are a part of any transaction, and now contributing to the better good of it, no matter what that is. People are informed more quickly, people are paid more quickly, the transaction happens faster, your goods get to you faster.
And it's trusted too.
Well, why doesn't it take off really well in Venezuela, where currency's really dropped? I mean, I would have thought if you could hook up an insurance company that's, with some wealth to verify, guarantee people who can't understand this technology, and it is very difficult anyway. If you got an insurance company that can make it easier, I would have thought that's a fantastic market.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think understanding the technology isn't really something that most people need.
Yeah, I didn't know.
We talk about it here because it's very interesting. An example that you've likely heard me use before is that when you board an airplane, you don't ask the pilot how the thing flies. I would even go so far as to say the pilot doesn't know maybe how the engine works, right? He's not engineering, he's the one who's flying. We get on the airplane and we care about whether or not we're going to get food or how much leg room we have. We don't care. The thing's going to take off. It's going to get us to New York, wherever we're going. Same thing goes for the internet. I would venture to say that most people, maybe not you guys in this room here, but most people don't even know how the internet works. And they don't even care how the internet works. It doesn't matter. It provides value to them. And I would imagine at some point the blockchain is just going to be this interesting protocol that some people know how it works, but provides value in such a cool way. Like if you're going to apply, this is kind of sidetracking the sharing economy, but if you were to apply it to the Internet of Things, you have a bunch of devices in your house that are talking to one another and transacting value and generating new value in an interesting way. Or a Facebook on Ethereum where you get paid directly by the advertisers for the value that you give the network versus a company like Facebook taking that. That's a really interesting proposition. Really kind of.
I've got to tell you something that shows my age. 30 years ago, we used fax machines and tried to go head to head with Western Union on sending documents to Mexico from here, let's say, because it's such a great market on currencies. And they just wouldn't believe that it's a viable thing. When Joe Blow's got some money to send to Mexico, it's important he gets from there to there. So he was satisfied to do Western Union, even though the fees were 5 times more than what my fees were with the fax machine, And so that's why the insurance company is something so important to get the ball rolling.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they'll all be a company or even an application like inside of here, like it's part of like insurance, right? Or like backup insurance, where you pay for that extra amount to have that service, so you can utilize it.
Insurance.
And you can decide if you want to do it or not. Maybe I as a driver will only accept people with insurance. There'll be drivers that accept without, like whatever it is, or vice versa. At some point, like getting on the internet was the whole thing. Like it didn't come in out of the box. You had to like get your like baud 42 thing or like 14 baud modem connected with like this big ass thing.
Couldn't
find like the CD, install the thing, hopefully it worked, and then you like click it, and it made like a terrible noise. Now it's just like it's part of the operating system.
Yeah, we get pissed when our mobile phones don't work quickly, or I'm in the train and I don't have service. Like we get pissed at that.
Yeah, and it will be kind of just knowing like, oh, this is how I do things now. I just take out my phone, I open my wallet, and I show my QR code to pay for something. That's just going to make sense to you. And you're like, oh, yeah, I need to buy Uber tokens, or I need to buy Airbnb tokens.
Airbnb tokens,
whatever
yeah,
it is.
example.
It'll make sense, right? You know how to do that. There's no primer.
So let's talk about tokens for a minute. So tokens are the currency that is associated with an application. So what's cool about Ethereum is that you can create a token specific to events, or in this example, like an Airbnb token.
You change it.
Okay. Yeah, an Airbnb token that can be used to rent out someone's couch or a room in their house. That is specific to that platform, whose value is associated with the service that the smart contract is written to provide. And those tokens could very easily be exchanged for other types of tokens, like we talked about yesterday at UCR in Riverside, about trading like electricity
Yeah,
tokens.
the solar token thing that happened.
Yeah, so like you could have like your Uber token, for example, and trade Uber tokens for Airbnb tokens. Yes,
Who determines the value of the token?
the users do.
Just the value that's getting transferred.
Like any market, like any currency, supply and demand. Just like what determines the price of the value of the dollar, or what determines the value of Bitcoin. So companies are doing token releases, where they release a token specific to the project that they're building on top of Ethereum that's backed by the Ether currency. And people purchase these tokens. And as more people use them, they raise in value. So your holdings in those tokens go up, just like with any currency.
Yeah, and you can specify what you want. So like for this Airbnb example, you could say that I'm only willing to rent out my place if they give me, 2 Ubers, 3 Airbnbs, and like 1 electricity token, because that's how much it takes to power my house for the whole. Right? And it can be put all of them on a smart contract, where the only way they can get access to it is if they pay for it. There was like a nice demo of a lock. I forget the name of the company, one of the guys, one of the early guys at Ethereum, where you can just pay the lock, right? Like I want to be, you put it on your house, be connected to the network. You specify the parameters that you want to accept for your house and when. And if someone manages to buy it, they'll be able to come in, scan it, and build a little lock for them.
It's a slot.
Yeah, slot it.
Yeah.
Same team who created the app.
Yeah. That's it.
What's the difference of like the token with the Ether itself? It seems like both are like currency.
They're the same thing. It's just like there's a conversion or something like that. Like it's all on Ethereum.
It's an abstraction. It's a value abstraction based on Ether.
So you'll like trade your Ether for something else.
Yes, that's correct. A currency specific to a service.
Yeah. So like that token will only work for those things.
Right. Like there's a company called Steemit. They're like a Reddit based on Ethereum. And you earn Steem, which are Steem tokens for upvoting, and for being for participating in content, and adding value to the network. You earn the Steem token, which then can be traded to Ether, or traded to Bitcoin, or through an exchange to or whatever else that you need. As this economy grows, as the ecosystem of apps based on these protocols grow, you can trade them for all sorts of different interesting goods and services that right now simply don't exist. Which is really exciting.
It'd be nice to like be able to just get paid for that, like in Ether. They probably take out some of the taxes, I guess, automatically, but you just have that. You can just use that as a form of currency.
Yeah, to buy food or pay your rent, electricity, kind of like what is already happening in Japan. There are real world use cases for this right now in 2017.
Yeah, I was just looking at the thing.
Do you guys have any questions about what you see on the board
Does it
here?
make sense like people like pay like have distributed Uber or Airbnb where literally just you and Gooey would just define these terms. Like,
And GUI is a graphical user interface.
Like website.
Yeah.
So like I'm willing to accept this price. People have to pay community fee of this much. They have to have this much insurance. And if someone manages to accept that, then they will get access to the system. And you get paid immediately for it because they put the Ether in there. The contract and does the distribution for whatever they want, and you get that in your wallet. They'll pay the cleaning lady so that they know that they're coming in a couple of days. And go all done automatically. Pay insurance for the 2 days, 3 days business that they have. You don't have to worry about it. You just set parameters and you just walk away.
But what if the cleaning lady doesn't show up?
So yeah, now it depends on do they get paid? Maybe it just stays in the contract until they.
It's an if. It's an if
And
statement.
now that's an app development question. Like I don't know. Like
What if there's a dispute if the cleaning lady showed up?
so there could be another circle in there for oracles to have to do some resolving between real off-chain and on-chain systems. And I as the Airbnb person can decide to use something like that or not. Maybe my cleaning lady is just like my cousin or something like that. And I'm willing to pay her immediately and kind of just trust that it'll happen.
I think the decentralized insurance concept is now which is an interesting problem that I think some people try to tackle. But it's this question of how do you put real world events that happen, like this apartment is not clean, but it was supposed to be clean. And encode that in code and have like a contract that responds to that. based on human,
Yeah, correct.
some of the problems are easier when it's with the car, like modern cars with, crash sensors or whatever, you have to crash out, this triggers some insurance event, the car will automatically do that.
Right.
Things not too hard, like,
Sure.
is this complex tax finished or not,
Yeah, and it could just be like a really weird solution. Maybe like there's a verifying event that goes on, and you can actually just go through houses and get access to see if it's clean or not. And you as a verifier will get paid for doing that.
Yeah.
That's very like manual and physical,
Right.
but that's just a solution. Maybe like you can have cameras or something like that, and then you can decide how like what the base level of cleanliness is. I don't
There are
know.
some solutions
There's going to be people who
more
are trying to find other things.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of like solution that you guys can think of?
Well, it's like that game with that Google had for a while. It's like Google Image Match or something, where it's like you had to like you were paired up with another user, and the user had to figure out like what is this a picture of, and then you put in a bunch of descriptors, and as long as they matched, like it was kind of like, okay, you're good, like you're gonna score higher on this. So
It's like if you're a robot or not, you're
Yeah.
signing up for an account.
And sensors in the door jam. Shield goes off.
Sure, yeah, like maybe the door, like the lady comes in with her code, like I know that you didn't come in my house because you only can get in my house is with that code, and you locked out, an hour later, and I trust that you actually did the cleaning.
You could think of the ways that they could cheat and then program that in. Say,
And
well,
that'll just be your decision on using that application, because there's gonna be like 5 insurance ones, like 10 maid services ones, and you as a consumer can decide, not Airbnb.
Right.
You can just pick and choose.
How friendly is that program for an average Joe? Like I would say, like
So
what
this-
Squarespace did with
The language really isn't terribly complex. It's just writing a smart contract that's secure and upgradable is the hard part. That takes an amount of reasoning and like looking through and thinking of ways like, okay, how can I exploit this? Because the code is out there, and so someone's gonna like look at it, stare at it as long as you have to find that exploitation.
a lot of it comes down to the logic. That the language is the syntax that executes that logic.
It'd be nice if there's like less logic, but if you like really need to have like 1,000 conditions or like 30 conditions is pretty fucking high. That is up to you and how you design it. That just means that there's more surface area.
Yeah, question.
As far as like the code that you write yourself, that's not open source though, right? It's closed source, like you own it yourself.
No, everyone can see it.
So everyone can see the logic that you wrote,
Yeah.
which will validate.
Yeah.
Since you agree with me, I think that the creme de la creme application for this would be a political problem, but Brown is the governor and there might be a new governor, but for Medi-Cal in this state that's already tried to go single payer once or twice, that would be the great application.
Sure.
We actually would like to do a healthcare specific talk.
Yeah.
in the future.
Healthcare and governance.
Yeah, those two topics.
Just charge 10 times what they should.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have all those prices
It needs more
visible,
awareness.
right? Like you can actually see like, your knee surgery, and here is, $10,000, but if you go to New York, it's 20. And there are variables, I mean, not everything's flat. I still expect like some variances like the doctor, how nice the hospital is, whatever it be that actually, having it visible in of itself would be a good step.
It's that one company 6 months ago that had a syringe that went up from $40 to
Yeah, the
$600.
EpiPen, that like, they just like every year, they're like, yeah, it's $90 more, shit, guys.
Although one interesting thing too is that the Silk Road, when it was still running, one of the things they did have would be like, they import just prescription drugs from Canada or something. Like that. People would buy that Bitcoin on the dark web, in addition to all the other illicit drugs that they have on that side too. So I mean, there's lots of ways to kind of wrap around these industries.
That's an interesting point because just what, last week or two, if you guys didn't hear, UPS got fined because they were delivering cigarettes that didn't have the taxes taken out of them in advance. So think about that even for a second in terms of all the stuff you're talking about, dark web or honest, semi-honest currency in terms of cigarettes alone.
Yes.
And how many nefarious characters could end up being in charge of it as well.
Yes, supply chain management.
That could be a total another topic.
That's another really big use case. I think that's been experimented with actually.
Yeah.
So it's logistics then, isn't it? Like any logistic company.
Yeah, it